shit crack.
Peace, 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 family. How you all doing? I hope all is well with you. My name is Keisha. I'm the owner of Ascendant Astrology, and I am your astrology coach. Today, I am going to be discussing the Grand Fixed Cross or the Grand Fixed Square. It can be used in either two ways. I'm going to try to break it down on a personal level as much as possible. And I'm also going to try to break it down on a global perspective, as well as show you how to find where this could be happening for you in your chart. And so let's start there. I think that's the best place to start, in my humble opinion. So you can get your chart while we're listening to this and go through the areas of life that it might be covering. Now, it's going to be a different area of life for everybody. So what I'll be showing you, the house placements, if they're different, that's just the area of your life. So it'll be playing out in different kinds of ways, but overall, the general themes and things that I'm giving out will be the same. They'll just be happening for people differently. And so, how you will identify the Grand Fixed Cross is by identifying all of the fixed energies that will be heavily highlighted. So, we'll have Jupiter, which is right here at 0 degrees. We will have the North Node that's been there playing out for quite some time. We'll have Scorpio, the South Node, that we just had the last Scorpio eclipse for the next 9 years, 19, whichever. And then we'll have Mars at 0 degrees in Leo, and then Pluto retrograde at also at 0 degrees. And so how it looks on the chart is like a cross. So opposition will be Scorpio Taurus energy. Another opposition will be Leo and Aquarius. And then you have the squares. So your squares are calculated by 30 degrees each house. Each house equates to 30 degrees. So that's how you count 30 degrees. So 3, 6, 9. So that's 90 degrees. That equates to a square. And so Jupiter will square Leo, Taurus energy will square Leo energy. Leo energy will square Scorpio energy, and Scorpio energy will square Aquarius energy, and Aquarius energy will square Taurus energy. Okay, so you can see the Grand Fixed Cross, hopefully right there in the middle. I hope you guys can see that. Maybe blue wasn't the right color to use. Maybe I should have used red, but either way, that's the bulk of what you're looking for when you're looking at your chart. And again, the only thing that's going to change about this dynamic is the fact that it will be in your different houses, depending on, how your chart's set up, right? And so let's just see if we can talk about this. So the fixed grand cross, or again, the fixed square, grand square, we'll start to feel this as of the month of May. I think it'll get stronger between the 12th and the 25th, but the actual transit takes place May 16th to the 23rd. Okay. Um, this can be like an eruption of emotions that have been boiling for quite some time now, and now it's ready to erupt. Um, it can feel like something that you've been wanting to do, but there's been blockages or with fixed energy stuck, um, or resistance, lack of courage, even perhaps. Um, something that you've been wanting to do, but um, you haven't. Something, no, it could feel like something that you should have done a long time ago. That's a better way to say that. Some people might not know um, that this can come up as an unexpected surprise or event that you get like this aha moment, like, why didn't I think of that before? Or now it's so clear to me. That's crazy. That can feel very faded, like very faded energy. Like, I always felt like I was supposed to do something great, but I never really got the chance, or I never really knew what that was. Right? For people who are on their spiritual journey, you've been knowing that you needed to make some changes or make this change or bring out whatever this is that's coming up for you. But you just haven't. And now you'll have clear direction and movement to do so, which will get you on the right path. It can feel very liberating, transformative. Um, it's the discomfort from the squares and that Pluto energy. Pluto is the strongest of this energy, and because it's in retrograde, we'll feel that a little bit more. Um, that can be making this difficult. So ultimately, this isn't like a bad thing, no matter what I say. It's just, unfortunately, the way this is going to show up to a lot of people is, pressure creates diamonds, right? And so it can feel like you're being forced to do something from the powers that be, coming from outside of us, right? So we have all these banking issues and crises and tax issues and price risings and things of that nature that are coming up that are forcing people to react impulsively, um, or assertively towards these things. Everybody's going to have their own story. Everybody's at different levels spiritually. So, depending on where you are on that spectrum, is how you're going to react. Doesn't really matter the how. Just know that ultimately, what we're looking at here is the opportunity to change, whether you get it right away or further down the line, right? And so whenever you look at any kind of planetary action, we have to look at the original point of contact. And so when was the last time Pluto was conjunct Jupiter? And the last time that happened, believe it or not, was March of 2020. So y'all already know where I'm going with this, right? Okay. And so um Pluto is power, the illusion of power, power issues, power control, the abuse of power. I did a video called The Illusion of Power, You should really go check that out because this is just an extended version to that. If you haven't listened to it already, it's going to give you the how to work through a lot of this stuff. But I will talk about it a little bit more here as well. And also, family, if you want a reading specifically for you and your chart, you can send me a DM on my IG, um, or leave a comment below and I'll respond um, to get more information um, for about how to plan around these changes. And if you find these videos helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. The more likes we get, the more it pushes the algorithm and to get us in front of more people as we are trying to grow and expand. And hit the notifications bell so that you can be notified every time we go live, family. I do appreciate you in advance. Okay. And so a lot of power issues, or taking your power back, not giving your power away. A lot of these themes can be playing out a lot throughout this month. And um and Jupiter wants to expand those themes, right? And so we've seen a lot of that going on in 2020. At the same time, Saturn had went into Aquarius, which was about restrictions and limitations, and that resulted in the lockdowns, right? Now that we have this square to Pluto and Jupiter right here, this is more so about asking how has that process affected us? How has it propelled us forward and helped us be more progressive and think outside the box? Um, what worked, what didn't. So we're reevaluating what we learned and what benefited us and what didn't from 2020 or from the lockdowns, which is where a lot of these issues are coming from. Depending on, how you look at things, right? And so I think economically, as bad as it might sound, because of people's different reactions, when I thought of this, I originally thought of how everybody went and bought the toilet paper and went crazy, right? Economically, the government can benefit from that. They'll be making money. People will be spending more. So this could be a lot of materialism, spending out of fear, buying things up. It could also look like hoarding and holding on to things. Or you personally can make some money by having like a garage sale or even giving your stuff away. It doesn't have to be getting any kind of profit. The giving away can be the profit. Again, it really just depends on how this is playing out in your chart. Um, Equally, this can be debt because Pluto rules debt, default, deficits, and taxes, and Jupiter is going to want to expand that, right? And so they've already said that June 1st, they're going to announce debt ceiling cuts. And then we're already seeing the banks. And so this could lead to mortgage issues, loan issues, and again, the prices raising on material goods. And people who have been doing the work and living in their purpose will have plenty of opportunities to gain fortune by, again, giving back, helping others, sharing your wisdom and knowledge, solutions to problems. Yeah. Also, Pluto wants to reveal any corruption, lack of integrity, or accountability linked to the sign that it's in. Now I've been talking about Pluto and Aquarius. I think I got a few videos on it by now. And I'll probably be doing more. Um, and so we're gonna start to see the truth behind how we even got, that 2008 um mortgage loans and what happened with that, the market, the housing market crash. I think we're going to see a lot more public housing issues and holding people accountable for the responsibilities and fixtures in the home. I'm already seeing it um, with a lot of clients who have housing specifically, even people who own their own homes. I've heard them complain about the lack of responsibility and ignorance from tenants because they don't own the land. They don't know the responsibilities that it takes to own land. And so they tend to be less respectful of the property. And um, I want to use my words, y'all, okay, because I'm really not trying to talk about nobody. But essentially, we're getting down to the bottom of the problem with these systems and structures, right? That they've really made us impotent, dependent on the system, lack-mindedness. Um, we don't know how to build anything anymore. Um, we want quick, fast, easy access. And I don't think there's anything wrong with those things, by the way, especially if you've gained enough financial wealth, you're older in your life, right? Again, it depends on where you're at in on your spiritual journey. I guess you can say the reward to gaining some kind of wisdom and working hard is to have easy access or not to have to work as hard. That's, retirement, right? Um, but I think, aside from that, a lot of us might be expecting that livelihood without having known what it takes to build to really get there and respect the process enough in the process of getting there, if that makes sense. And so I think we're going to see a lot of these themes kind of coming up where the government's either going to be like, oh, well, this is our plan on how we can save you and make changes in the world and do better. But essentially, we're going to have, a lot more people complaining and saying no, because this isn't working anymore. And I'm tired of putting in all the work and not getting any help, which is going to be a major call for social groups, different social groups, more solution-oriented social groups that are consisted of strategy and building something that's going to essentially make people more accountable, self-sufficient, um, and progressive, innovation, ways of living, and things of that nature. And so, I think it's going to be dope, actually. I really don't see this as being like a bad thing. Again, I just think in the process of getting there and being with all those squares is that we can feel overwhelmed, like we're being pushed in all different directions. Who do I believe? Who do I trust? Um, one thing's happening after another. I can't keep up. One area of my life is pulling me, and the other area of life is pulling me, you know. And so getting organized, structured systems, building your own systems, or learning about these themes is probably going to be a lot more suitable for people than anything else. And so, like we showed you on the graph, Pluto being at 0 degrees, Jupiter at 0 degrees is a beginning point, a start, an initiation to something that you need to find out um, learn, develop, or grow within and understanding, getting a deeper understanding. Okay, this could be massive, massive, massive healing, right? Not everybody's going to be able to start right away. Some people might be like um, running into a brick wall, right? Emotionally feeling the pain and duress from the outside world, the pressure of what needs to be done and changed from the outside world. So kind of holding space for trauma, if you will. It can really feel like that. Um, and then you have the oppositions, which is Jupiter, North Node, and Taurus opposing the South Node. More, that's more healing, if you want my honest opinion. But it can also be more so of a release with the South Node, right? Taking things away, letting things go, standing on your word. I said what I said. I'm not doing this anymore. I don't want to go back to the past. It doesn't make me feel good. I'm unhappy there. I'm tired of going through this. I'm tired of repeating this lesson. I can't stand the drama, the stress. Help me take it away, make it go away. Move this pain, help me get through this. I want to get over it. Um, um, these kinds of themes could be screaming at people, so loud that you can't avoid it. You have to go through it. And so really allowing yourself to feel through things, to cry. This could also be detoxing, um, liver, your body, your inner body, any kind of detox, sweating. I mean, there are all different forms of ways to release toxins from your body. Figuring out what's comfortable for you and doing that can be very helpful during this time. Um, And again, healing. If you're not reading something, taking a course on healing, um, having a spiritual practice around healing. This could also be like generational healing, um, healing generational curses by acknowledging them, writing them out, releasing them, and putting in a new story. What do you want this to look like now? And that's Jupiter and Taurus and North Node and Taurus. And we'll get to that. We'll talk more about that. Um, um, and then we'll have um Leo oppose Aquarius and Pluto, which can be, how do I take the lead? Um, am I going about this the right way? Am I a good leader? Do I have the courage to play this out? Um, are people going to like my work and appreciate what I have to offer, the knowledge and wisdom that I have? Um, do I have the motivation to do this? Um, um, yeah. And Pluto and Aquarius is like the new innovative, progressive aha moments, thoughts, ideas that you could be really excited about. So even if you're not making any movement, having a plan is going to be essential to this entire process. It can start there. Do some free writing about your aha moments, your signs and synchronicities, your through your healing. What are you learning? What family curses are you closing, and how you want that to look? This could very much be a result of the board, your goal board, or any kind of drawing or art, um, of, your new path and what you want. Um, or again, just planning, structuring, getting organized, around your ideas and how that's going to work, who might you need for resources, where you're going to go to be able to get these things, very detail oriented process of um, planning out your next steps and goals. Um, and then you have the squares. So Scorpio, South Node, squaring Pluto can be fear of success, fear of doing something new, different, thinking outside the box, changing the game, not having any friends, losing groups, changing groups. That whole process of having to get to know somebody all over again can be stressful, make you literally want to like not do it at all. So this could be social anxiety, mental health, a cry for help, isolation. Um, this could also be um a transformation and change because you've already had some kind of awakening. You've done your work, your deep, dark night of the soul. You've had your fears. These things could have already been shown to you, and now you've been working on what that looks like. And it's like, all I need is an opportunity. Give me an opportunity. I'm gonna show you what I learned. Okay. um, and you'll get a lot of opportunities when that Pluto squares Jupiter. Jupiter is going to be Jupiter's going to be the solutions and the outcomes, right? Um, and how those can all be working. So a transformation in the types of social groups that we have. Jupiter and Taurus can be very community gardens, learning how to garden, self-gardening, self-sufficiency, grassroots programs, um, learning how to invest, how to make your money work for you, um, setting up a legacy, building a legacy, passing down information as legacy, knowledge or wisdom as a legacy, um, intellectual property. What are you good at? It could be art, again, information, um, wisdom, philosophies, and announcing those. You could be doing videos, again, you know, building something, putting something together. Um, um, my ideas are like flying away. Um, yeah, I think I put them in my other thing. Yeah, that's why I have a hard time thinking. Yeah, building security, um, emotional security, um, and wealth. Eating different, eating healthier. I feel like this could be like vegan food trucks, restaurants, and restaurants being more um farm to table. So finding like what do you call those things? Farmers markets. If you're not so handy or you don't live in a place where you can, or it's just really hard to find people who can help you with that. But I also think that, again, economically, this could be great for small businesses where people who do those things, people will be looking for those smaller businesses more dedicated to that. Another thing that I seen come up, which was very interesting, reflecting on 2020 and what happened with a lot of businesses back then, is that there was an opportunity to grow, but when you grow too quick, this can bring up problems, and also make you fail in a business just as much as not having enough growth, right? And so there's going to be this happy medium between all of these changes, um, that I think is going to be very interesting. However, I did talk about this in my illusion to of power video, where there's a need to expand in all these smaller businesses because these bigger companies and corporations aren't really giving you solutions, right? They want you to be consumers, and people are, that is no longer, the well, it could be, right? Because on the lower vibration of Taurus is very materialistic. Um, these are your you get people who have shopping addictions and things of that nature. But the higher expression of Taurus is like living off the earth. So like going back to sewing your own clothes, making your own bread, cooking your own food from scratch, and eating healthier, getting your food from a farmer's market or a butcher, or things like that, right? Sounds real old fashioned, right? But it's necessary because they're going to start to be putting a whole bunch of things in your food, or you're like, people, you can hear a lot of people complaining like, well, how am I supposed to know what's in my food? How can I find that out? I don't want to have to depend on these corporations to do stuff, because we know essentially they're not really doing stuff right? And so it's going to be essential for those smaller businesses to get back out there. And so I also remembered like a lot of people doing, taking the elderly for an Uber, even if they weren't an Uber. Can't remember the guy's name who did it, but he was a pretty big deal in the community. And he would notice that elderly people were sitting out there waiting for an Uber, but they don't know how to do those things. So he would take them home and charge them like $5 or nothing at all. So a lot of grassroots programs taking accountability for the community and the people in the community, um, really coming together, working together to do what's necessary for us to survive and feel secure, emotionally secure, and financially secure, with prices rising, et cetera, et cetera. And so, what was going on for you back in 2020 that you had to switch and change? That can come back up now for more, for to expand for the rest. That's it. Like, we're moving forward, we're doing things this way now. More family committed, things, working from home, having the ability to work from home, or just understanding, if you can't do those things, how can I set my life up in such a way that I'm equally not working as much, but still being able to build and grow with my family, heal these issues, and stay on a healing path, being honest and open with each other. I think we can see a resurging in family reunions and get togethers and things of that nature, and really people building together or learning together as a family or a group. Okay, your friends as your family, whatever you consider your family to be today. Again, it's going to be different for everybody, but I do think over time we will see these themes grow, because we're not going to have a choice. That's just the easiest way to say it. Um, but uh Jupiter and Mars can be over exaggerating, or again, sharing knowledge, information, and wisdom, philosophies changing, values changing, and what you give to is change, resources changing. Um, and Mars and Scorpio, again, fear, impulsiveness, flight or fight, responses, emotional responses, really working on and through those things. Um, these are new beginnings, but it's fixed energy, so it can feel stuck, locked in, stubborn, and resistant. I didn't know what to do. Um, but this can result in a lot of conversation going on around these things, or conversations that can lead to understanding what to start, what to get into, the potential, um, but what to do with it, what to choose, what's pulling at you or guiding you. And really, again, feeling through it, not worrying about if it's right or wrong. This is not a time to over analyze or assess. This is more so about following your emotions and what you're being pulled or guided to either fix. What you're going to have to realize is, are you meant to fix this or grow within it? Is it a guide? Is it an opportunity? Is it a blessing, type of distinction? And Pluto's your long-term goals, but it's opposite Mars. So yourself, the desire to make your own way, willpower, your creativity, your courage, your desire to make moves that are best for you. And then Jupiter will bring in the resources, what you're developing, researching, what you want, understanding more of what you want. Long-term spiritual protection, finances, money, and new creative ideas. Um, and then the square between Jupiter and Pluto is first, that's amplifies resources and changes. This could be observation too. I think for the first while, all this stuff is so new. Um, it's going to be like a culture shock. You know, when you go somewhere that you've never been for a first time and you see how they move differently, ain't shit like what you've been used to, that could be like a culture shock. Like, damn, if we start doing shit like this, and making it can look like we ain't never going back to the way things used to be, you know? It could be some of that kind of stuff happening here. And then Mars and Leo brings in sparks, triggers, activations, reactions, taking charge. It could also be frustration. Why can't I do things my way? This is how I've always done things, but there's a standstill. Um, and then the North and South node is what you're facing, like fears, the truth, feelings, letting go. Scorpio is a strong attachment, deep, intense karmic release. You're realizing something is complete, a loss, an ending, a clean slate. And Pluto square the nose can feel like pressure all month saying it's time to evolve and bring in these newer Jupiterian, Taurus like themes. So, as usual, family, I hope this information finds you well. I hope you guys like the little diagram thingy I did for the charts. You know, let me know what y'all feel like, if you think it could be more or less. All right. As usual, family, I love and appreciate you. I hope you found this information helpful. Peace.